Hello, welcome to Bubbles and Breakdowns, a space designed for you to show up as your beautifully imperfect self, where we dive into the good, the bad, and the bubbly. I'm Katrina.
And I'm Ashley. Well, everyone, let me transport you back in time. Dust off your Discman and grab a handful of Gushers.
Delish.
Because we're taking a trip back to the decade of flannel, dial-up tones, and the ultimate freedom of being unreachable. That's right, the 90s. In this episode, we reminisce about a time when our biggest stress was keeping that damn Tamagotchi alive. And the peak of high tech was those translucent touch tone phones. Who had one?
Oh, I had one.
I
Absolutely.
really wish I did. We just had a maroon one in our kitchen. But we explore the unique magic of the 90s, that sweet spot of analog childhood and digital adolescence where playing outside meant staying out until the streetlights came on. Mm-hmm. We're officially declaring the 90s as the enough decade. We didn't need 10,000 followers. We had 3 best friends and a shared box of Pizza Hut.
Extra cheese.
Oh, join us for a hit of pure nostalgia as we celebrate the grit, the neon, and the glorious simplicity of growing up in the 1990s.
Man, wasn't it great?
Oh, it hits.
I have one name that came to mind.
What?
Zach Morris.
Oh, I have one name that came to mind. Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Oh, JTT.
Ooh.
He was all over my room.
Oh my gosh. And were you a Hanson girly?
I did. You
dabbled in Hanson?
I did, but I wasn't like, JTT was the king of all hotness.
King of kings.
And Mbop was just like good music.
Okay, so I was obsessed with Taylor.
Oh.
And my good girlfriend at the time loved Zach.
Oh, Zach was the drummer?
Yeah.
Or no?
Yeah, he was the drummer.
He was the drummer, yes.
The young one, which
he's a cutie
we were
pie.
also probably the same age. And we would have a sleepover and wrote love notes to Taylor
them.
and Zach.
Oh.
So we were in on Hanson.
I love it.
I
I
mean, it's a jam.
So
I feel like that was on the movie Sing or something. And my daughter's like, how do you know this song?
Yes.
And
What
I was
is
like,
it?
I've lived.
Right. Like, let me take you back
Let
to the
me take
Hanson
you
decade,
back.
where we had no idea that you could be young and famous.
No, and I think this is like, I don't know. Love my memes. We know when I say meme, it's anything out on the internet that I've read, that I've seen, that I've felt, that I've jived with. But this reoccurring theme of a 90s childhood, I've seen so many influencers say, I just want to give my kids a 90s childhood. Mm-hmm. And I could not agree more. Mm-hmm. I had the best childhood. Maybe a little unsafe at times.
Absolutely.
Or maybe not, based on our read, The Anxious Generation, about really trusting our kids and giving them that space that's crucial for them to develop, right?
Yeah. Self-autonomy, resilience.
Exactly. And how to deal with in situations where they need to make the right choices.
Yes. So like when we think about our childhood, like what came up for me is I really had a lot of time left to my own devices. Like,
Same.
and it wasn't devices like a phone. It was literally like, what can I do? What kind of trouble can I get into?
Right.
And all I can remember is just like gallivanting around the neighborhood. Like it was my paradise. We had a park. I had friends on either side.
So great.
It was so amazing.
And I remember right before we started filming this, taping this, recording this, whatever we're doing, I'm going back in the 90s. And I was like, I used to make this walk from my old house to the local neighborhood drugstore.
Oh, yeah.
Grab some Pop Rocks, go on my way.
Absolutely.
Maybe some koala yummies. Who knows?
The best.
The day was getting crazy. And I'm like, Katrina, this walk, why did I do this by myself? It was like 10 miles. It was 0.9 miles. I just looked up the distance. But my legs were a little shorter then, so it felt a little longer.
But isn't that true? Like when you go back, and I've been back to my childhood neighborhood since I've been an adult, and I'm like, wow, it looks so small now.
So small.
But when you're younger, it does feel so big. And we also had, it wasn't a drugstore, but we had a whole grocery store along with like a strip mall, and we had Baskin Robbins.
Oh, money.
And it was Highlander at the time, then it got bought by Kroger, and then it became a Schnucks. You know how this all happens?
All of it.
And we would literally go in and we'd buy like sub sandwiches, and we'd sit in this one little spot by this like brick enclave, and we'd like stuff our face with sandwiches and Sour Patch Kids. And I remember like getting canker sores from eating so many Sour Patch Kids. But literally my mom didn't care.
No.
Nor did she like give me the fifth degree about eating too much candy. She was just like, oh, where were you?
And I feel like they couldn't because like they couldn't reach us.
We were unreachable. Yes. And there was no like air tags.
Which is wild, right? Like
yes.
the thought of not being able to reach my child
kind of gives you a little anxiety.
Yeah. Definitely feeling that.
And I think we will feel that even more as we kind of like loosen the leashes on them. But I think what helps me is grounding in this 90s childhood is like, hey, we made it out.
Totally.
We survived.
And when I think of childhood, those are some of my best memories. Roughing it on the streets, going to Subway, to your point, hitting up Shirl's for a half vanilla, half chocolate.
Oh, sounds great.
Totally. And I think it gave me the freedom to navigate. And that's so important.
Well, even that, like, think about these skills. So you just talked about buying ice cream or whatever, right? When I would go buy ice cream sometimes, I would have to like literally break open the piggy bank and I would show up with like quarters and nickels and dimes and pennies. And I'd be like, is this enough? And I remember like going up to the counter and being like, is this enough? And they were like, yeah, it's fine. And I'm like,
that'll do.
Yeah, that'll do, kid. Get out of here.
I know. Isn't that funny? Because now 2026, the penny is not even a thing.
I know. Like our kids are like, that's worth nothing.
So I just went to Sephora and I bought a new mascara and I never have cash on me, but I had cash on me and I paid and I was like, oh, she gave me 4 more cents than I should have. And then I got in the car and I was like, oh yeah, there's no pennies anymore. There's literally, they are not giving out pennies.
Yes. So weird. I didn't even know that.
Yes. So I was like, she miscounted. And then I was like, why didn't I say something in there? And
So
then,
funny.
But like, think of it now. If my kids will go buy ice cream one day, I'll probably give them a card.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, or they'll have like a device,
right?
That you're like, I
They just
loaded
scan.
$20 to your Venmo.
Yeah,
or
like at
whatever.
school lunch.
I know.
Ding, ding.
It's so wild. But
So wild.
So like thinking about, I was going back to like, okay, here's one memory that came up. When it would rain behind our house, there was like a trench where all of the runoff from the houses would collect.
Don't even tell me you played in it. Don't.
I know. Oh, yes. Not only did I play in it, like I body surfed in that thing. And I think about all the pesticides now. And I think about like the dirt and da-da-da-da. And my mom was just like, go have fun. And it was disgusting. Like I would come back looking like Swamp Thing with like mud all over me. And if I were to say, would I have allowed my daughter to do that? My first reaction is like, no, it's disgusting. But like back when I look back, like I loved that.
Totally.
When it rained enough, I'd be looking out the window. I'd be like, oh, we almost have a lake back there.
Is it
I'm
time?
going.
Is it
I'm
time?
going. I know, because like it was fun.
Well, and like, I feel like you brought up a really good thing that to compare to now, I've been all about trying to get my kids outside and myself.
Oh,
but
yeah.
like,
So good.
There's so many people that are Nintendo, devices, TV. Is that what kids are looking forward to after school?
My children got into a habit a few months ago of coming home and being like, I want to play Wild Kratts on the iPad, or I want to play this. And they were all like a device game or Super Mario Party. And I was like, yeah, some of those games do teach certain things. I was like, I don't want them on it. So we had removed those. And now it's like they have to do coloring, or we just were doing watercolors all this week, where I literally just have them set up and they can just go and create something. And I personally think they're happier.
Yes.
They're happier doing that stuff.
Absolutely.
You don't need the games.
No, and I think we've all seen the meltdowns.
Oh, after they're done and you have to take it away.
Oh my gosh. And it's like,
I know.
this is a different child. And I think that just goes to show you 90s really was.
90s rocked.
It was hitting.
And you know, the Nintendo we had, you had to like blow on it to get it to work
dust
again.
out.
Yes. Yes. And like my brother had the Nintendo game in his room,
great.
and I remember sitting in there and playing Yoshi and, you know,
Donkey Kong.
but like that was like the forbidden fruit.
Oh, totally.
It was like, oh, we're going to play Nintendo. Let's see how long we can play before mom can hear that we're playing it. And she'd be like, turn it off. And I'm like, go outside, you know. But like we played so much basketball. We had a trampoline. Oh my gosh, we would put the sprinkler under the trampoline. I think at one point my brother even jumped off the roof onto the trampoline. I mean, talk about risky play.
Seriously.
Like we did that type of crazy stuff. And like, and I look back, and there was never a moment that I look back, Ashley, and saw my parents sitting watching us.
No.
They were literally like, go outside,
and figure it out.
And
I think too, I was just talking to my girlfriend. I said, do you remember a time when your parents played with you?
Right.
I don't. I mean, yes, the occasional
Here and
like
there.
family game nights, like
my mom taught me solitaire and different card games,
stuff like that. But like what we do now,
no,
there's no way.
Like we're directors of entertainment.
Yes,
and this is where, like, yeah, of course, parenting feels super freaking hard.
Of course, we're burnt out
because we are not meant to play games with 5 and 6 year olds.
No.
Like we are way too developed of intelligent people to be doing that on the nightly. Where I'm like, I'll get you set up, honey. And then you got to figure it out.
Totally.
And like, we have to teach them the basic skills, but like, we shouldn't be the driver of that every single day.
And I've seen when there's things laid out and stuff, my daughter will spend more time doing it by herself than she would if I was there. And I think it's so important. Like you said, we remember these things doing alone. I remember, do you remember those fashion plates?
Yes, they were plastic. You could rub the colors on top.
Did that for hours by myself. I remember, like, this is like getting in later, maybe high school too, where I would just like put on a CD and listen to music and like paint. And just like, there's something about knowing yourself and making sure you can do these things alone without friends and without just kind of like, I think that's important too. Yeah. It's like not only taking the devices away, but free play by yourself, independent skills.
And I think I'll take it one more step further. As you were talking, I was like, gosh, what did I do in my room? I remember I would sit and play with makeup.
Oh yeah.
All the time. And I would and I cannot even tell you probably how many spots of makeup I got on the carpet.
Was it Wet and Wild?
Wet and Wild. My mom also like gave me at one point like a Clinique that she didn't like, and I felt like the fanciest person.
Oh, snap.
I know. But then also I had nail polishes, and you know what I did with those nail polishes?
What?
I started painting furniture. I was painting wooden pieces of furniture in my room. If my daughter did that, I'd be like, you better clean that up. And like my mom was like, oh,
open
you did that?
Did you crack a window?
No, I just no.
Like
absolutely
breathing in nail
not.
polish.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like,
but like, look how creative at the same time.
It
like,
is.
Kids are getting into harmless, fun things that they should be, right? And I think there's so many things now. I think we'll discover as our kids get older if they still have these things. But one of my best parts of school was Book It.
Oh, I don't know what that is. Tell me.
You never had Book It?
No.
Pizza Hut?
Oh, like a reading club.
Yes.
Yes, but I never
Loved
participated.
it. Okay, well, first of all, I remember one time I did not read the book, and I was, Catholic guilt. I was like, oh my God,
you're a horrible person.
Terrible.
Ashley.
I didn't read Matilda.
How did you ever forgive yourself?
Oh my gosh, I had to do a book report. But like, there was something to me about like earning a star. And then like, I get my own personal pan pizza and no one can touch this thing.
Yeah. Just me and my pizza.
Just me and my pizza and my Book It. And then I might have gotten a ribbon. I don't know. But it's like idolizing things like that where you're encouraging reading. Like,
yeah, it's great. Oh, so my little experience, like, I don't know, tangential to that was we always would have not wallpaper, wrapping paper sales.
Oh,
and
yes.
It was wrapping paper and bows, and then also you could buy like chocolate covered nuts and like mixed nuts and stuff. And if I would tell my mom like, and that's how I won the translucent the phone, the one that you could see all the insides or whatever. Is that I got enough points, but I remember bringing it home and be like, Mom, look, you can win this phone. And she was like, well, how are you going to do it? And I was like, what do I have to do? And she goes, you have to walk to every person's house and you have to ask them if they want to buy this crap that you're selling. And I sure as shit did. I walked around that whole neighborhood, and I remember hitting up the condos in the middle of the neighborhood where they like lived on little lakes and stuff. And they felt so bad for me. They bought so much. And I was like, I won this phone, and I felt like I had achieved. I mean, it had, like, if I look back, I probably only sold like $300 worth of stuff.
But still.
But it was teaching me courage to trust my environment. It was also teaching me entrepreneurial skills, goal setting, and achievement all in one. And the fact that my mom was like, I'm not helping you with this.
Totally.
You have to go sell this. Because a lot of parents will literally be like, let me help you. I'm going to bring it to work. I'm going to do this, that, and the other thing nowadays. And even back then, probably. But she was like, you better get some good shoes on, get to walking.
Figure it out.
Yeah, figure it out. But like, these are motivating factors. And,
Absolutely.
And I think like, I hope in the school systems that we're in that our kids will get the same kind of opportunities. I haven't seen them yet, but they're still very young.
Me too. So. And I think in the same way, I know our school has like just a donation.
Yeah.
Where it's like, we're not going to do anything but donate. So then, and I'm kind of like, I love that. But I also.
Makes it easy.
It makes it easy. So I don't know if that's the right thing.
Right.
But then there's some, I think it's hard too, because would the mixed nuts and the gift wrap stand the test of time now when you can go to Home Goods?
I know, you get it on discount.
And also like,
But I have to believe in the goodness and intention of people that when they see like an 8-year-old show up at their door being like, sir, will you please buy this wrapping paper? That they're going to say, look at this kid making effort. I'm going to spend $20 on this wrapping paper that I arguably don't even like, just to encourage them.
Right. Well, and I wonder though too, is the shrinking and going away of these activities because of parents' mental thinking around strangers and their anxiousness? So maybe it's like related, right? Like we're going to take these away because parents don't want their kids.
Risk. It's risk adverse.
Yes, exactly. This is a risk adverse
culture.
Yes. But we're taking that away from our kids.
Right. So my daughter and son have done two lemonade stands now, maybe 3. And we have a busy road that goes through our neighborhood. And so it's like prime. It's like prime lemonade stand. To where in the summertime, like my daughter will literally ask weekly, can we do a lemonade stand? Can we do a lemonade stand? And then in the winter, she was like, can we do a hot cocoa stand? I was like, I don't have a big thermos. Like we're not doing this. But then she even started ideating more. She was like, I've got an idea. I was like, okay, tell me about it, girl. Like what's cooking in that sweet little brain of yours? And she goes, we're going to do a foot spa. We are going to get a bowl of water and we're going to get soap and we're going to scrub people's feet on the side of the road. And I remember being like, oh my gosh, that is incredible. And then I had to like break her spirit and go, no one's going to want to do that, honey. And she goes, what do you mean? It's great. And I was like, not on the side of the road.
And also like, I don't think you're going to want some of these feet either.
No. But it was so cute.
It's so
but this
sweet.
is like the entrepreneurial spirit.
Absolutely. And just getting them thinking differently.
Yes.
Right? Some of the conversations I've had too, where we're doing things that aren't, this 2020 childhood is just like, it makes me so happy to be like, you got it. You got this grit. I can see it already. Your creativity is thinking differently, which is going to take you far. And I think it's reassuring.
So in this conversation, this was, I think we've all been seeing some of this like memes or 1990 stuff. But as we're talking, I think the call to action to people in our generation is to drop the guilt of not being with your child or helicoptering or watching them all the time. Because I think what's happened with our culture, Ashley, is that if you are not being an attentive parent, people feel like they're being judged as a bad parent. And inviting people to say, okay, drop that and invite the risky elements that will help stoke your children's creativity, their body autonomy, learning how to play on a playground. They have to figure out how they can move their bodies. Social relationships with other children. If they're not... They will act differently if a parent is looming nearby than they will if we're not.
Yeah.
And this entrepreneurial aspect.
Right.
Or just wherewithal to navigate the neighborhood at age-appropriate times.
And testing boundaries.
Yes.
Right? And seeing what happens if I break that.
Right.
Is there a consequence? Right? Or, could I get hurt?
Right.
Which you never want your kid to. But I think there is knowledge and learning that. I'm just laughing because speaking of getting hurt, when I was in the 90s, baby Ashley tooling around on roller skates, I fell and broke my wrist.
Yeah.
And then a year later, I got roller blades, broke the other wrist. And like,
you balanced out.
I'm fine. Totally fine. So there's sometimes now where like, I don't know, I'll do something like, oh, my wrist. So my husband's always like, oh, my wrist. And I'm like, okay, relax. It's my Achilles heel.
I've had 2 rollerblading and roller skating injuries.
I was like, dude, not give me wheels on my feet.
Yeah, not a good idea for you.
Part of it seriously taught me, it's like, I'm going to wear wrist guards now.
Right.
So I guess, does that mean I'm a nerd? Maybe. But like, I think it's one of those things that we give them a little bit of freedom to discover those boundaries, test it out, but also the 90s.
But like, think about that. You know, nowadays, if we don't have the perfectly dressed kid or like the clean kid or the one with like the pretty bows and the hair all done up, I think what I don't like about where we're at, frankly, is that we are taking our children and making them reflections of who we are rather than letting them be themselves. And what comes up for me of what I did in the 90s, which we talked about briefly before we started, was dyeing my hair with Kool-Aid.
I want to try it now.
So you take a packet of Kool-Aid, you put it in water, you put multiple packs. I did red, and I took my white blonde hair and it absorbed that red like it was its job. And I looked exactly how you think I looked.
Like the Kool-Aid man himself.
Like day one was bright red. Day two, it started to fade to some ugly pinky orange situation. But like, my mom's stance is a beautiful one. She was like, you want to look silly? You look silly. I don't care. Like, that's your head. It's summertime. We're not sending you to school. She didn't want me doing it during school.
Right.
But like, she's like, no, that's your choice. And she would also, at the age of 5 and beyond, I dressed myself every day. I would pick my outfit and I would come out wearing a swimsuit almost every day underneath whatever it was I was wearing, hot pink neon pants and a cream sweater.
You never know when a pool's going to be available.
That's how I felt. That is literally, like I just told you, I swam in a terrain of pesticides in the back of my my house. Like, I was ready to swim at a drop of a hat. And so what I think so beautiful about that is the disentanglement of our identities with our children. And I think we've entangled a lot of our identities in our children. And as we continue to kind of like evolve into the parents that we want to be, I want to make a cognizant effort to disentangle my identity from my children's identity.
I love that. And I think there's so many pressures too that led to that type of parenting, right? Like, think of a cell phone.
Yeah.
People can get video of anything.
Right.
Not like we're consciously thinking that, right? Because I'm not like, oh, someone's taping me. But you've seen instances of, you know, people taping people, making fun of kids. Or it's just, how have we become this society that thinks that's okay to release that? And then we've got social media that just
bombards us with images and
then
ways
you could put
to be.
these videos out there and they go viral, and you're not thinking of the person behind it or the people behind
very
it.
dehumanizing.
So I get that we want to maybe protect our children, but that 90s childhood maybe made us who we are. And I love it for it. So I think if there's one thing, we got to just make sure we're leading with the right foot.
Loosen our grip.
Tighten your grip on the other one. No, it just makes me nervous to even say that. But I think it's, you know, the 90s. I loved it.
It was a beautiful time. I mean, it was VHSs and, you know, long walks, getting lost, playing ghosts in the graveyard, you know, everything.
Ghost in the graveyard, right? The best.
Like all these things. And yes, Gushers. We mentioned those at the beginning.
Gosh,
how many of you guys would be like eating 3 packs of Gushers? Was I the only one?
Dunkaroos.
Oh, the best.
Wait, tell me you know string thing.
Yes, absolutely.
String thing.
Delish. And by the way, Red 40, like absolute garbage. We survived. How many push pops or like those popsicles that came in
the sherbet?
No, I loved those too.
The ice pops.
The ice pops. I would cut the sides of my mouth on that plastic. Like, I can feel it as I'm talking.
I literally just had one the other day. But of course, this time it's the, what is that one brand?
The Good
Johnny
For You.
Pops?
Or Johnny Pop.
With no, but whatever.
Yeah.
But like, I did it. I was like,
I know.
They're still made of plastic. No better way to come around that. But I know.
So many great memories. And to those people who grew up in the 90s or around it, like maybe this gave you just like a little bit of like a glimpse back into things that we've maybe put way back in the recesses of our brains. But let's keep some of, I think, the beauty of it.
Yes.
And reframe it for now, right? And like try to hold that space. I think it's a beautiful era. There was some bad things, some great things, some, you know, just like any era, but it's like there were some really important elements that I think we owe it to our future children's
Completely
lives
agree.
to bring forward.
And get your kid a Tamagotchi. I think they're back.
I mean, why not?
Keep it alive. Figure it out. Your kid's first pet.
I love it. And remember, everybody,
After every breakdown,
don't forget the bubbles.
Thanks for tuning in. If you like us, please follow us on the gram, drop us a message, listen to us on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast, and make sure to give us a 5-star review.
We can't be reached on a dial-up phone. I just want to make sure you guys know that.
No, but maybe we'll get one.
Yeah, maybe we will.
But clear and translucent.
I love it.
Is that the same?
Maybe.
Okay.
Cheers.
Bye.